Hello and welcome back to the final segment here, dealing with visual data. So now it's just a cleanup at this point, and I'm going to cheat a little bit on this example compared to the other examples. Those other examples that we were looking at, I went through and showed you how to set it up in the spreadsheet. I'm going to cheat because it says here it wants us to create a frequency table, which we did, a histogram, which means I'm going to enter it into Quattro Pro or whatever spreadsheet software you're using. And it wants a pie chart, relative frequency, graph it, cumulative. So I'm going to go to the spreadsheet right away, and I'm going to complete um, the tally sheet or the frequency table and put all the information in at once. And since you're using the graphing software to do this, I invite you to go ahead and do that whenever you have a question with multi-steps. Is look ahead. So our tally now becomes what we call a frequency, and the marks. Oops. The marks were 0 to 9. Oh, and it's going to think it's a formula. If you're entering just you want to just type in a word or a number, if you put a plus sign in front, no, that doesn't work with Quattro Pro. What is it? The space? Yeah, just put a space in. So 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30, oops, put a space, 30 to 39, space, 40 to 49, space, 50 to 59, space, 60 to 69, space, 70 to 79, oops, I forgot my hyphen, space 80 to 89, and space 90 to 99. So there are the marks. Now the frequencies I need to enter in, so I got to go back and forth here a little bit. So 0011. So carrying the information over, 0011, 0011, one back, 2577, 2577, and to finish it off, apparently there's 5 there, didn't use the cross hash, and a 52. Alright, so there's our frequency. I want to know the total of those students, so I'm going to sum that category. So I'll find how many students are in the class. It's a class of 30. So I'm going to insert some cells here. And remember, the only reason I'm doing this is because of the way Quattro Pro behaves. So actually, before I do that, I'm actually going to take the graph, do my frequency graph now. So I highlight what I want here, and we're going to insert a chart. And Quattro Pro is going to help me out a little bit, but not a whole lot. Again, you're picking the one that best suits your graph, and for me it looks like if it's on its side, it shows up a little bit better. So I'm going to go with the side. Title, frequency graph of marks. The x-axis will be mark intervals. The y-axis is frequency. And next. And finish. And then it's going to ask me to draw the graph. So I'm just going to scroll down. I'm going to put it there. And of course it doesn't look right, but don't worry about that. You always pretty it up later. If it's just for homework, that's what you really want to be able to do, is to get to this stage. The fixing up and making it look pretty you can do later. So I'm just going to grab that, Control C, go over here and Control V. Oh, that's right, I got to take a picture of it because Quattro Pro is unfriendly. Remember that. So here we are. Try this again. Take the camera picture. And there's my click. And I'm just going to keep going here. So I'll move this graph down out of my way. I'm going to insert a column or insert cells. Next, doesn't matter the order. Let's do relative frequency. frequency. And your relative frequency, remember, this is the tricky one. You want to do your frequency divided by and the total number in the class. And remember that we're going to put the $ on either side of the D because that makes it stay that particular value. It won't change. So I'll just copy and paste that formula all the way down. And we'll paste. And let's change that to a percentage. So the selection property, numeric format, let's go percent. And no decimals is just fine. So there we go. And graph that, insert chart, and lo and behold, actually looks like the exact same graph or same shape, and that's it's the trend here. It doesn't matter which one you go with. So this is relative frequency graph. X-axis is mark interval, and now y-axis is relative frequency. And continuing on here, no change, and just like that, I have relative frequency. And just to bring it back so I can draw on it, I'll just insert it. You're going to leave your homework in Quattro Pro. You'll have a homework file, so you don't have to copy and paste like I'm doing. I'm just doing it more or less for the lesson and the visual. All right. And the last thing I want to do on that graph, if I sneak up here, throw this graph out of the way, is the cumulative frequency graph. So insert cells and cumulative frequency. So for cumulative frequency, the first column is going to equal what it's worth. Then the second column, you have to enter second formula, unfortunately. You'll say equals the one above it plus how much I get to add. So it's the one above plus there. And now I can copy the second formula. So that's the one where you'll have to enter two formulas or two values and paste. And I know I did it right because it's 30 and 30, so that is correct. Make another chart, and we can see it goes upward as it should. And again, I'm going to go sideways, put all the graphs sideways. You don't have to. If it turns out fine going vertically, then by all means leave it like that. So cumulative frequency, x-axis is mark interval, and the y-axis is frequency. Oops, cumulative frequency. So if you can imagine doing this by doing it by hand, like the good old days, like some of us dinosaurs had to do all these graphs by hand, and now you did it virtually, probably all three graphs in the time it took me to make one when I went through in the good old days prior to cars and light bulbs and electricity and such. So now I'm going to just go back here and more or less clean stuff up just for note purposes. Like I said, you'll probably just keep a Quattro or a Quattro file for yourself open. That way you can just continue with the homework and just have all your homework in one section. So I'm just going to cheat and try to put everything on one page here just to finish this up. So if we extend the page out a little bit, get that guy underneath, and there's all my graphs taken care of. So I'll go back to whole page view, minimize the camera. Okay, so create a frequency table, did that, that's a part. And again, the only thing new for you compared to the first example is this right here. You're creating intervals, okay? That's the only change. Once you have the intervals done, it's the exact same process. So when you do it with the spreadsheet software, you can have some blanks and just use the previous example and just copy and paste over those first two columns to speed things up. Create a pie, what am I on here? Number B part, I need to create a pie chart, oops, what's going on there? So, move that up like that. I still have magic pen on. Okay, so I want to create a pictograph. So B part be the only thing you can't do in Quattro Pro. Pictograph, and go up to 7. So we're talking about, let's go with smiley faces equals 2 students. So 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, and that gets a half a smiley face. 30 to 39 also gets a half a smiley face. 40 to 49 gets a full smiley face. And just slide down here a little bit. I need to see 50 still, so 50 is 5. So 50 to 59, 2, 4, and I need 5. So there we go. 60 to 69, 2, 4, 6, 7, 70 to 79, same thing. And 80 to 89, that's also 5. Yeah. Oops, that's 4 already. There we go. And now I am down to my 90, 99. I think there was 2. So there we go. So there's the pictograph. And it's just pictorial representation. And if you notice, like, again, it's all the same shape. But C, that was, what was B? Create a histogram. Okay, so a histogram is just a frequency graph. Oops. Better letter it properly here. So B was the histogram. C was the pictograph. I got that. D is a pie chart. So I need to go back to my software and create the pie chart. And I'll let you'll be fine with that. So everything's there for us other than the pie chart, but that's just using the software. I'm just repeating what you saw in the first example. So at this point, I'm going to let you try going ahead and doing it yourself. Everything's there. Use the spreadsheet software. You're going to be able to use it on the test. You're going to use it for the project, so please practice with it. If you're going to do it, you can do it by hand. I'm not going to not allow you to use it by hand, but I do recommend practicing with the software. So anyhow, the homework is on the bottom of this page right here. So here's the assigned homework, and like I said, make sure you use the spreadsheet software to do the homework. Even if it seems kind of trivial, it's still good practice. All right, good luck, and we'll see you next lesson.